All right, homosexuals, bit of a quick one. I start my shift in 15 minutes, so we're just gonna have some fun, have a little quick chat, and then, spread the passion. Why not? Today was great. I had a little bit of a hiccup when it came to my snatch work today. Today on the normal program would have been a power snatch and pause back squat kind of day. So I wasn't really sure what to do until I got to work. This is my third 12-hour shift in a row. And with college work, trying to hang out with friends and all this other bullshit on top of the gym, it's just been, I haven't had a lot of time to plan anything, But regardless, I'm still going to do my best. It doesn't matter if I don't have the perfect plan set out, especially while I'm recovering. It's just about staying consistent and putting in that good maximum effort while I'm there. So I was like, I could either do really heavy power snatch for again, I'm not doing any volume right now. If my right leg was compensating for my left quad tendon for so long that now it's a little bit strained behind the knee, so I'm just trying to give it that time to recover that it needs. So pushing volume is just going to overstrain it, and doing some heavy, really hard bounce squats out of the acid grass position is just not going to be great either. At least I don't think. So on the power snatch stuff, the original idea was to do a high hang power snatch to a top single, just whatever a comfortable heavyweight felt good with. Because I thought, I'm just going to try to do as hard an accessory as possible so I don't overdo it, because then it leaves the weight a little bit lower without risking injury and can still allow me to work on my form and technique as well as I can. So I got to one plate. I did 95 pounds and then 135 pounds. And holy shit, doing a no momentum power snatch is really fucking hard. I highly underestimated how difficult it was going to be to whip my body underneath it and have as high a pull as I needed to get underneath. You just got to have some fucking, not even boulder shoulders. You need mountains for fucking shoulders to do that shit, because it is all arms. I was not having it. So I put on 165, because that's my middle weight from going from one plate to 135 if I want to. And there was no chance. There was zero fucking chance I made that shit. And so I was like, okay, so I can either give up right now or go back to a lighter weight and just do some more volume, or let's have a little fun with it. Let's try to switch it up and see what I can do so that I can actually put in some good effort. Because doing 2 sets, especially with just warm-up weights, is not my style. I felt like I got nothing out of it. And because the technique was so difficult, it was a good technique warm-up, you could say, but it doesn't really push my strength or my overall longevity with my snatch work much, just leaving it that minimally. And again, I want to have enough recording so I can shoot the shit with you guys for more than 10 fucking minutes. But I had the great idea of, okay, well, let's just take it one step to the next level when it comes to allowing myself to put on that little bit of weight to where I could get some good effort, but taking away some of the strain on the technique and form so that I can put in a little bit more full body effort. So instead of just doing a high hang power, I decided to aim for a pause hang snatch at the knees. So I just would pick the weight up, let it go down to my knees, pause, and then power snatch. And that gave me that little bit more momentum that I needed to get under some heavier weight with good technique and strength, and got it to 195, and it felt really fucking good. If it wasn't a recovery week, I believe I could have done 205 for sure. But it is a different kind of sensation when you do any sort of hang movement, regardless of how low you go, because it's it feels like you don't that feeling where you're just doing the weight and it gets to that heavy point where you really just have to let your muscle memory kick in, and just it feels like you don't remember doing the lift at all. You just remember setting up and then catching it in that middle. The stuff that happened in the middle was just you whipping it as hard as you fucking could and just putting your faith to the barbell. But it really goes to show how much my technique has grown, making sure on the hang I let my shoulders stay over the bar the entire time. I know it seems like you should be able to keep your chest up a lot more when you're doing a hang movement, but I'm telling you, keeping your chest up and your shoulders back is going to fuck you up. You want your shoulders right over the bar, even if it puts a little bit more strain on your low back, which, by the way, if your low back is getting strained from keeping your shoulders over the bar on a hang anything, then you probably should be working your low back a little bit more. But leaving your shoulders over the barbell is what gives you that room to pull the bar into your hips instead of pushing your hips into the bar, while also meeting that highest vertical pull. Because if you can get that highest, best momentum vertical pull out of the, where, like when you're pulling through the third pull out of your hips, you're going to be able to lock out right where you need to, like obviously if you're pushing it too heavy, you're not gonna be able to do it. But if it's a weight you believe you can truly do, it's really just making sure you stick the technique as hard as you can. It's not super complex, even though it's such a hard weight to do technically. But I felt really good. I stuck it out, had a really good pull. It felt more of a whip than a pull, but because I have that mind muscle connection now of really using my arms that little bit extra more to pull it, I'm rambling, but I try to, whenever I'm trying to get to that highest vertical pull, because I keep just saying that without really explaining it, I try to imagine wherever you think that your highest vertical pull is now, the next time you do a rep, try to imagine yourself pulling 1 extra inch higher than that. Because even if you are getting as high as you possibly think you can go, when it's that heavy, chances are you can pull that little bit extra more. It's just hard to do because your body wants to whip it so bad to get underneath it and stop the stress from packing onto your body, So I like to try to force myself to at least imagine pulling an extra inch higher so that I have that wiggle room to dive underneath it and lock my elbows and core out exactly right where they need to be. But other than that, I got to the back squats. I also didn't really know what I wanted to do, but the front squats felt so good yesterday, just doing the slowest tempo possible, feeling out every single possible point of the lift for the sake of my right knee's recovery, or not behind the knee. Because again, bouncing acid grass right now is just not a smart idea. I want to be able to feel out each and every single point of the positioning so that I can have that slow, controlled, but yet like that good tightness when I squeeze through it. So I got up to 385 today, and I'm pretty ecstatic about that. It was a really good rep. If I felt, if it wasn't a recovery week, I think I could have put on 4 plates if I really locked it in as hard as I wanted to. But really, just it's super fucking tough. If you've never tried doing as slow as a descent as you can on the squat, I would definitely recommend trying it on like a deload day, or like a, if you're recovering or something. You don't got to go super heavy like I did, because I'm just trying to maintain my strength while doing like comfortable heavy singles. But like if you're just doing like a warm-up set or something, feel it out with like a plate or two. It's you can make the barbell difficult if you slow it down as much as humanly possible. It's fucking tough, especially like going from standing position to just above 90 degrees is not that hard. It's getting to 90 degrees and then holding it through the ass to grass position that's so fucking difficult, because your whole core is starting to shake at that point, and the stress has gone away from your quads and is shifting to your abs and low back. And so you have to really hold your core, your trunk together until your quads can re-lock it back in at the end of the ass to grass position, But I was extremely happy with it, and it was a great way to test my overall drive out of the squat. My right leg feels great after this one. I honestly, I didn't get to do any accessory work for my right leg today, unfortunately. I really wanted to, but my shift starts in 5 minutes, so I kind of got to work with what life throws at me. And even though I didn't get to do what I wanted with the weights in the gym or the foam roller to really get that muscle smoothed out, I can still stretch while I'm at work. There's plenty of stretches you can do. Like a fun one I like to do right now is, pretend like you're going to touch your toes, keeping your legs fully straightened, and then whatever leg is stronger, let it have a little bit of a bend to it, and then do knee extensions with the straightened out leg. Like put the pressure on the other leg while you're trying to touch your toes, and just fully like give it a little bend and then fully straighten it out as much as you can without overdoing it to where you won't overstretch it, but just good enough to where you really feel that nice pull. I mentioned it yesterday, but it'll feel like if you grab a rope or a rubber band and pull it really hard from both sides, but you don't want to pull it so hard that it snaps. You just want to pull it hard enough to feel that it's getting that nice stretch, just something good enough to give it that progress so that your recovery can continue growing. Because even though I'm maintaining my strength, does not mean that I'm recovering as efficiently as I could be if I'm not doing my stretches in PT properly, So anyway, sorry, I had a great day. It was fun. But I physically, I'll give it an 8.45. It was a really decent day. Again, the Olympic lift doesn't feel as good as I wanted to just because my right leg isn't at that stage of confidence yet, but it is getting there. And the slow tempo squats are making me regain that confidence very, very well, very efficiently. It's almost like I'm doing PT through the squat itself. It's like meeting that middle ground where you can maintain strength, but also give your leg or whatever you've hurt that same amount of therapy that you would if you were doing stretches. That's the whole point of making the lift as hard as possible when it comes to technique and form and core, to where you take the focus off of your main muscle groups and focus more on those little parts of your body that don't get enough attention, so that you can build that strength up to do better next week, Hopefully if I feel better next week, I'm going to take as much time as I need because I don't want to rush it, especially since I just got my left knee healed and I don't want to rush back into it again just to re-fuck it up. But mentally, easily going to give it a 9.3. It was a great day. It was fun. The gym I had an hour, but I made do, and I did really fucking well. If I don't so fucking pat myself on the back for that shit for the time that I was given. Like the 12-hour shifts are hard, and going back and forth with work, school, gym, social life, it's always going to be tough. But giving yourself that availability to at least try, commit, and have faith to the efforts that you want to put in, that's what's really fucking important, It can get you so fucking far just to start taking those first steps and actually committing to them. Because I worked all last night. I did schoolwork while I was at work last night. Didn't get home till 8 in the morning. I went straight to bed, woke up at 1:30, went straight to do homework, edited the videos for you guys, got every fucking thing done that I needed to get done, and now I'm back at the gym, back at work, and I'm gonna do it all over again because I love seeing the progress. Because it gets me more and more confident every single fucking day that I can continue doing this to the best of my abilities, no matter how much my body wants to fight me back on that. But anyway, I gotta go. I got work. I appreciate you guys hanging out, listening to me yap about and do my thing. Sorry for a little bit of shorter one, but man's gotta work. Gotta get the paycheck. And I gotta help them kids, The psych unit's not gonna just run itself. I gotta go give them the support they need. And the support that I want to give, But either way, loving what I'm doing. Gonna keep doing it. Let me know how your lives and your lifts have been going. I love hearing about it. And I will be back tomorrow with some pause clean and jerk work and normal bench press, I believe. Something like that. I'm just gonna feel it out as I go. I'm not gonna really worry too much about it, but we'll get there when we get there, All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.